Well, now I'd like to introduce our next speaker. It's Jay Muldoon, and he teaches English and theater at Fairfield High School and at my alma mater, Miami University. Go Red Hawks. Go Redskins. I think I'm grandfathered in. I can say that, right? 22 years ago, Jay was the very first volunteer in the pilot for the Notre Dame AmeriCorps program Sister Marianne mentioned earlier to us. And he's here to tell us how that experience continues to shape his life and influence his heart today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jay Muldoon.
Thank you very much, Cami. It is a pleasure to be here. I absolutely love talking about the Sisters of Notre Dame because I love their mission of education. I've shared in it. My Aunt Jane is a sister in Notre Dame, and in my younger years, she became a missionary in Africa. I followed her work, I admired it, and I knew someday I wanted to do and serve in a similar way. So I told her. And I'll never forget, that was over 2 decades ago, but I'll never forget how she encouraged me. This missionary sister who had very little, she gave me a gift. She left me a jar of pennies and with a note that said, "You have to start saving your pennies. Here's your start." I'll never forget what Jane did for me in my life. I followed in her life of service by being the first volunteer for a program, a pilot program that the Sisters of Notre Dame were starting here in Cincinnati. That program was the forerunner to what is now Notre Dame AmeriCorps, which Sister Marianne mentioned earlier. Between my junior and senior year of college, I found myself leaving the comforts of Hingham, Massachusetts, to the unknowns of Winton Terrace in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I would serve alongside of Sister Joan Krim at Mother of Christ Church. This neighborhood was filled and marked with urban plight, poverty, unemployment, hunger, homelessness, and yet rich in African-American spirituality and spirit. And it was a time of tremendous unrest within the city. My first moments at Mother of Christ Church were a little unsettling. But Sister Joan Krim, like all of the sisters we had in elementary school, guided and affirmed me in my decision to serve. And you know what? She never used the clicker or the ruler to do so. So we can just get rid of that myth right here. I quickly found out that this year would lead me to discover more about myself and about others than any other year in my life. I was supposed to be the youth minister, but as time went on, I did anything and everything that was asked of me. I worked in the food pantry, I tutored children in their studies, I worked with families in the community, sang in the choir. Thank you to Corryville Catholic, I don't have to sing today, and assisted our social worker. Toward the spring in 1991, I even directed a performance, our parishioners in a performance of Godspell to raise money for our food pantry and other ministries. Though it was a mixed bag of service, that year served as a benchmark to my understanding of poverty, of homelessness. When I look into the faces of any one of those children at Mother of Christ Church, I quickly understand that income has no role in character. The sisters speak of the goodness of God. It's a great lesson. The meaning of the goodness of God never hit more than in 1990 at Christmas time. We had gathered gifts and presents, food for the community of Mother of Christ and the Winton Terrace community. And 2 days before we were to distribute them, they were all stolen. The church was broken into. This human heart went to despair, disappointment, and anger. Sister Joan went to the goodness of God. And ultimately, all the gifts, all the food, it was all restored twofold. And like the fishes and loaves, our community had their fill. The sisters that I've worked with throughout my life have taught me how to listen to people, to understand them, and to love them. I teach at Fairfield High School. I have 5 boys. I heard, okay. I am Catholic. And I am husband to Lorraine Muldoon, who I love very much and whom I met via Sister Joan during my year of service. I know that the sisters and their influence have made me a better teacher, a better father, and a better husband. I also know that this year of service has helped me to be a better man, a man that loves first and judges last. This is what being part of something bigger than yourself does. It changes the way you see the world around you. I see it, as I see it, I can read. As I see it, we are all called to service. Accept the challenge and it will change your life as well. There is a song that the Notre Dame AmeriCorps workers sing that kind of sums it all up. I won't sing it, but the words are, "You are God's hand in this world. You are God's face in this world, and you are God's heart in this world." Sisters, thank you.